There are those that just want to be left alone, and those that just won't leave them alone. Which one are you? The Ernest Hancock Show.
Turn on the tube, what do I see? A whole lot of people crying, don't blame me. They point their crooked little fingers at everybody else. Spend all the time feeling sorry for themselves. Victim of this, victim of that. Your mama's too thin and your daddy's too fat.
Get over it. Yeah, get over it here and declare your independence with me, Ernest Hancock from Phoenix, Arizona, from the beautiful, beautiful studios of Freedom's Phoenix Farm, at the farm. You know, that's one thing that we did, Stuart. I'll tell you what, man, we got serious. We moved the entire studio and our home into a 2-acre farm up in North Phoenix, irrigated, got 20 chickens, 3 goats, starting to plant. Man, we're getting ready for here it come. You think I'm kidding, man. I'm like, ooh, and how much silver you got and food underneath your bed. I mean, I've been screaming for everybody to buy silver since it was single digits. I mean, you know, and who's your buddy now? It's spiked.
You know, I thought of something this morning. I was watching the news, and I hadn't heard anybody say this, but, you know, I was watching the war in Libya, and I'm saying, you know, we're becoming a little like England. I mean, England, they've got a queen and they've got a prime minister who runs, you know, the basic government. I said, we've got a president who's like the queen.
How's that?
He bows, she curtsies, he goes to parties, he takes vacations, he goes to social events, and you've got a Secretary of State running the country.
Oh, I get you. Okay, now let's go ahead. I want to show something. Where do you think silver is now?
Silver's going to go up. Silver always raises, I believe, the same proportion as gold. I mean, it's less money, of course, but as gold rises, silver also will rise.
Well, where do you think it is now?
You know, I'm not sure. Where is it?
37.38.
Is it really?
37. Broke 37. You know, if it breaks 37, that means it's going to break 38. Breaks 38, it's going to break 40. Breaks 40, it's going to break $1 million. I mean, you know, it's just the sky's the limit on this thing. So I'm just going, you know, when we were screaming, people like, oh, if it breaks 20, you know, then, you know, that's time to sell. It's not going to, I'm going, you know, we are going to be thinking back in the days. I remember when silver used to be double digits, you know, so that's where we're going. And I need to understand, as the Federal Reserve, we're going to have quantitative easing 47. You know, I mean, it'll never stop until the dollar plummets. How does that affect long-term planning and the housing market? I mean, what are you expecting to happen? Well,
you know, in the long run, housing will probably go through the roof. But right now, it's a great time for people to buy. I mean, I urge everyone to buy, but buy for the long term. Don't buy to make a quick profit, but buy for 10 years down the road.
Well, why? I mean, is it because interest rates are low? You think it's about bottomed out? Or, you know, I anticipate it going down another 15-20%.
I mean, I think it will too. But even if it drops a little more, you're going to be able to get a very good interest rate today, which will compensate for a lot of that. And, you know, to buy for the long run. If you buy for 10 years down the road, you can't go wrong. But buy good property. Don't buy junk.
Well, define that.
Buy good property in good neighborhoods. I mean, if you want to be a slumlord, that's a very special, separate business. I don't recommend the average person doing that. But buy good quality property, and there'll always be a market for it. Good neighborhoods, good property.
All right. Here, I'm going to put this up on because we're doing video too. I wanted to put the chart up. Take a look at this. Man, it went from opened at just over 36, 30, right? It's over $1 today. $1 it's gone up on silver. This is, I'm sure there'll be a correction and it'll go back down. It'll do whatever. But this is, you know, wow. We knew that there would be certain things that would happen as the collapse comes to this country. So I got to ask you, you were from you started your business and everything from the real estate crashes in California after some earthquakes and all this other stuff. And do you see a real estate recovery, and how would it happen? What has to happen for real estate to go up? We are at the lowest new housing building ever. ever. We're like a 250,000 in the entire country. So I'm going, we have stories up on Freedom's Phoenix today, espousing this information. And I'm going, what is it that you're thinking is going to happen, and how does it have to happen to bring real estate back into being, a viable investment? I mean, you're saying now for the long term, get it, but that generally I would think more based on interest rates than anything else.
Well, it is based on interest rates. Plus, no one really has a crystal ball. It's half of what it was a few years ago. So I would buy. It's going to take confidence in the public to want to buy. It's going to take getting rid of this overabundance of empty houses and over-encumbered properties that are on the market. I mean, people are going to have to either just walk away or pay their mortgages or bite the bullet. I mean, property is worth what it's worth today, and it wasn't worth what it's worth years ago. They have to get rid of the property or just keep it.
Tell me some of the stories, the people that you service that come to you and say, look, man, I need to get out from under this, don't want to have a taxable event. They take advantage of you. Are most of them unemployed, or are they troubled real estate, or do they have assets and they know to talk to someone like you? I mean, what is their general financial situation?
The people that we deal with are not indigent. We deal with people that are making a business decision. If you're broke, just walk away. What difference does it make? You're bankrupt anyway. But if you want to preserve assets and you have made a business decision to get out of an over-encumbered piece of property, that's the person that we want to talk to, and that's the person that we can help. That's the person that could go out and buy a better house or as good a house for half the price across the street.
Because by going through you, he's saved his credit if he doesn't allow it to go delinquent.
Sure, he can go out and get himself another property and get a better property. And, some people call me, I love my house. I say, well, there's always a better house. Maybe if you're the Queen of England, there isn't, but there's always a better house somewhere.
So you're looking in the price range of what do you generally deal with? Are you in the millions? Someone that has a $250,000 home should call you too?
Oh, sure. We deal in all prices, anywhere from $150,000 properties up to multi-million-dollar properties.
Now, where would they go? Go ahead and let's give out the website again for people interested.
Sure. It's realtycrisis.com or 877-94-HELP-ME.
Now, we're looking at the future legislation that may be coming out while they're distracting us with war and all the other stuff going on. It's always you want to take a look and see what's actually going through now, because that's when they get you. You weren't paying attention here? No, we had on cable news all these bombs being dropped and, little children covered in napalm kind of thing. So that's when they want to do this stuff. What are they trying to do now?
Well, I think they're trying really to have nationalized the mortgage industry. All of these new regulations that are being passed regarding mortgage standards, investors, as I mentioned, the lenders having to keep stakes in mortgages. Exempt from that is the FHA. So they're exempt from all of these regulations, which are government-insured mortgages. So again, it's the big government trying to take over the mortgage market. Now, FHA mortgages are all insured with mortgage insurance, as many other loans have private mortgage insurance. The FHA loans are insured with mutual mortgage insurance, which does the same thing, except it's there forever.
Okay, now, I used to say that, as they kind of nationalize Freddie and Fannie, I'm going, Obama's your landlord now. And I didn't really realize how true that was until you look at the percentage of home ownership, really, of the underlying asset by the government. And I'm going, are they going to use that as a vote-getting tool in the future? Do you anticipate them starting to shuffling these out like playing cards to people or something? Is that possible?
I think it's very possible. I mean, I think it's highly possible that almost every mortgage will be either underwritten or guaranteed by the government.
But that doesn't matter if nobody's getting them or they can't afford to pay for them or they don't have a job. They're going to have to start giving them away.
Well, they're going to have to do something with it. It's terrible. Right now there are so many thousands and thousands of vacant homes just decaying all over the country.
Well, we went through this before. It was called the Resolution Trust Corporation, and finally they just kind of wound up in the private sector of the buddies, and then they liquidated it and got, pennies on dollar investment and made $1 gazillion. But now we have the Oscar-winning documentary Inside Job that asked this one question I'm going to ask you. How is it that thousands of people went to jail, at least got prosecuted, and not a single one has happened with this financial crisis and fraud that was many times bigger? What's behind that?
Well, you're exactly right. In fact, just last week, they did indict 14 people down in Sarasota, Florida. And I think it was the pressure of the local government putting pressure on the feds to actually do it. And it's a fairly simple, low-tech crime. Why they don't prosecute these people, I don't know. I mean, this is not a Bernie Madoff.
Because they don't have to, because all the bad guys got their bad guys in regulating bad guys. Thanks, Stuart Vernier, for coming on. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.